All right, so just going to have a little chat about times where we realised our current level of fitness in the military was not acceptable and it was just not going to be enough to get us through what we needed to get through based on our job requirements. So I'll start with you. I guess that pack march was a bit of an eye opener, and then after that, once you're in uniform, do you have a moment where you're like, holy shit, this is really tough, I need to sort this out?
I'll preface this by saying that, I'll speak for myself. I didn't go into the army as an unfit person. I went into the army as quite a fit person. I wasn't a strong person though, and that was where I fell down. So I could run, as I said, I could swim, I could do all these things. I could do like circuits at PT and stuff like that, but I wasn't a strong person. And you weren't an unfit person either. You definitely weren't peak fitness going in, but you soon learn as well. So we didn't go in as unfit people, which I think is, obviously beneficial, but the most important thing here to realize is that you have to be an all-rounder. It's not just, I can be fit at one thing and not the other. You have to be an all-rounder, and that's kind of where I guess the training that we now pay forward to everybody else with the Barracks gym is making sure that people are all-rounders. So obviously, yes, the pack march, I had realized that, okay, yep, I've done no load carriage, my body is not conditioned to this, I need to do some work, and so I did. It sounds so simple, but like push-ups, I could do my push-ups for the PFA plus, some more, but then when it came to doing like a circuit or, we're doing a PT session and push-ups became punishment for doing stuff or whatever, I couldn't do volume of push-ups. And so, that then became something that I focused on. I couldn't do pull-ups when I went into the military, and I was like, all right, watch me. And when you do pull-ups as part of a PT session in the military, you always have someone underneath holding one knee and the small of your back and, pushing you up essentially, if they can. I wouldn't have been able to do it to you, but
I didn't need it.
I got to a point where I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. And so every time, because I don't know if there still is, pull-up bars all around base. So every time I walked past one, I'd just try and do pull-ups. And I'd always incorporate them into my own training. So that was something that I took a bit of pride in. I was like, no, I want to be able to do pull-ups, and then I could do 1, and then I could do 4, and then I could do 5, and then I think I got myself up to 14 in one hit. And not only was that beneficial during PT, but it kind of bought me a bit of street cred and a bit of respect around the unit as well for, being the only female. People would look at me and think, oh, okay, she can hold her own. So that's when my strength started to develop. And then I guess as time went by, and I realized I was starting to become, quite fit, I wanted to be not necessarily the fittest, but I wanted to be fitter than, the middle of the group. I wanted to be, pretty fit and able to, smash through PT sessions and, be able to, hold out when we do long distance runs as a group. And if we were doing pack marching or we're doing battle PT, I wanted to be able to, lift and pull and drag and carry and do all of that. And so it was probably after my first year in the military, and then I deployed to Afghanistan in 2009, and I didn't really do much gym work. I just sort of did military PT. I went to Afghanistan, came back. I did a lot of running in Afghanistan, came back, and then I wanted to increase my strength and my aesthetic, I guess. I wanted to be fit and toned. So then I got right into the gym, and that was a massive shift for me. I used to then train at the gym at lunchtime, as well as doing PT in the morning, and I started to notice incredible changes in my strength, in my endurance when it came to things like battle PT, and it meant that I was able to contribute during sessions, and around the compound when it was hey, we're packing a vehicle, or we're I don't know, we got to pull stuff off this shelf and put it on another shelf, or we've got to do this or do that. I wasn't the person that was like, well, I can't do that because I'm weak and I'm a female. It was like, yeah, cool, I can get in and contribute and I can help, and I'm not a hindrance, like I'm not dragging the group down. I can actually get in and contribute, and I really loved that. And I've spoken about many times in the military, particularly as a female, fitness is your currency. And it's when people start to see you being able to contribute and being physically capable of doing, you know, basic things around the place, that they start to trust you and respect you and know that they can rely on you. And that's so pivotal when it comes to working as a team in the military, is knowing that your peers, male or female, can trust you to do your job. So I would say probably about 1.5 years into my career, when I really upped the ante with my weight training, that was a massive shift for me. And then that became like I was obsessed with it from then on. So
that's it.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, and most people are junior to the gym, and I didn't learn how to lift weights, etc., until I was in the military, because I understood the benefit as well. It took me a few years to understand, okay, why is lifting weights so important? And then, like Carly said, as it is a currency, so say as a boss, so say I'm in charge of 8 soldiers and we've got a job to do, I don't want to fucking sift through those soldiers to figure out who can lift that equipment onto the back of the truck. I should be able to go, any soldier can go and lift that shit and put it in the back of the truck. You shouldn't be looking at your soldier and go, he can't, she can't, he can't, oh, he can't. No, you guys should all be competent and capable of doing that. So
why would you not want to be? Why would you want to be the person that got sifted out? Like an example is, there was a generator, which is generally a 4-person lift, we need to put into the back of a Land Rover. It was one of the first times I'd ever kind of worked with you. And, you know, I wasn't your biggest fan, and I don't think that, you know, vice versa. But I knew full well that I couldn't put this generator in the vehicle by myself. No male would have been able to either. And I turned around and I was like, hey guys, can I get a hand putting this generator in the truck? And you turned around and you went, why? I was like, because I can't do it myself. Like, why? Just because you're a chick? And I was like, who the fuck are you? But that was you coming from working in a previous really male-dominated environment to now being exposed to working with females, and you were expecting that the females were going to be prissy and weak and unable to do much, and we're going to, I guess, ride on that a little bit to get out of doing shit. And I just turned around and I was like, well, no, because it's actually a 4-person lift. So if someone could just help me, thanks very much.
Just for context here, I was in a male-dominant. I never worked for females.
No.
So
I said that. Yeah.
First half of my career, there was no females in my job in Combat Corps. And then it wasn't until I changed jobs to go to where Carly worked that I was like, oh, okay, there's lots of females here. So yeah, it was quite an adjustment.
But you didn't realise how badass we were. No, but that's what I was saying. Like, I don't think that you expected there to be physically capable females. I think you expected that maybe they were going to be way less capable than you were expecting. And some definitely were. But there were others like me who, yeah, I'm not the strongest and I'll always give it a go first. But then if I physically can't lift something or carry something, I'll be like, can I get some help, please? But that was, you know, generally like a 4-person lift. So anyway.
So moral of the story, lift some weights. Lift some weights and then you won't have someone like me harassing you.
Well, yeah, and you know, that, you know, then becomes your currency. It gains your respect and you earn people's trust. You're like, oh, okay, no worries.
And you are a full contributing member of the team.
100%.
Thanks.